I got a lot of people telling me I need to play Octo Expansion, and that is why specifically for this video, I finally still didn't play it. I have a lot of good reasoning, but basically, you know, Splatoon is a lot of things. It's a shooter game, a competitive game, a casual game, a single player game, even a fucking card game now. And it even has mini games within that game. Oh. Never mind, actually, that's dead. However, by and large, there is something that Splatoon is that no one ever talks about, and it's how stupid it is. Like the story, online, community, and many other things are just downright nonsensical, and that's exactly why it's so popular today, and perhaps its greatest attributes it has. So this is the glass half full, and let me tell you why Splatoon is really stupid in like the best way possible. So before I talk about why exactly the stupidity works, let's talk about each and every game and why they're so stupid in the first place. Because there's some obvious ways you look at the game and say, wow, this logically makes no sense. And some less obvious ways that make you say, wow, what the fuck is happening? So I'm gonna start with one of my favorite parts of Splatoon, and it's Judd and how he's a deity sent from the heavens themselves. Yes, in the age where squids have become more humanoid and can do things humans can never do in a million years, they worship a cat. A cat that can count paint, mind you. Why can't you do that? Alright, fair point. Speaking of Judd and Turf Wars, I like how Inklings and Octarian used to be best buds and just fool around playing Turf War like they usually do, to one day they said, fuck you to each other and just start a whole ass war with one another. Like, what? You guys are the peak of cephalopods. Don't judge me. And they just start fighting each other because why not, I guess? Just bully the other species, huh? So then these turf wars that used to be fun and then used for war are now used for fun once again and played a lot between fellow squids. But someone had the genius idea to make turf war a bit more competitive, not in the war kind, and fight to compare which condiment is cooler. Like, we're all used to this by now and love Splatfest, but it's just so damn weird that this is part of their culture, that every single month they must have a war on which certain thing is better. Like, my favorite out of the bunch are Red vs. Blue, Fan vs. Friend, Pulp vs. No Pulp, and the one the Squid Sisters had a war. Oh, sorry, the Squid Cousins. No one talks about that, but it's so weird. Why are the sisters actually cousins? Who called them that? Probably Callie. She seems like that type of squid. Well, okay, maybe the online part has a little sense of stupidity, but I mean the story mode is all super serious, right? Well, Captain Cuttlefish exists, and that's probably all I need to say. But I will keep going. I just love how all the bosses have something going on about them. Like the cube dude who keeps showing up, the toaster boss, the unicycle boss, the big man boss, which makes me pretty sad that we have to fight him. Especially in the first game where all the bosses are pretty easy, with the whole 3-hit death structure until you get to the last boss, which is like, I am going to punch the fuck out of you while I spin these records. Which I loved, obviously, but can't help but feel how everything was so easy until I got destroyed thousands of times while Callie Marie, oh sorry, Agent 2 and 3, were singing in my face. Did you know I never realized they were agents for the entirety of the game? Again, don't judge me. And with the power of squiddy music, DJ Octavio goes down. Forgot to mention the villain of this game and the series, not some big malicious dude, but just a failed DJ. A DJ which is a pretty stupid concept, but I love it anyway. But how about Splatoon 2? Well, online-wise, everything feels the same as to the first one, except for Clam Blitz, because apparently 8 clams equals a football, which is actually not that weird compared to the rest of the series. But regarding the campaign, and more specifically the final boss, I love how it's the exact same thing as the first one, but now Octavio has a lot more drip, and look at that, Callie is with him too. Now in itself, being brainwashed isn't quote-unquote stupid, but if you try replaying the boss afterwards, you'll quickly find out that Callie has sunglasses on again. In any other video game would just act like nothing happened, but no, not Splatoon, they're smarter than that, in a way. But apparently this time, Callie put them on willingly because she thought she looks cool in them. God, that shit is so stupid. Who puts on sunglasses inside because they think they look cool in them? Unbelievable. Let's move on to Splatoon 3 because, oh boy, that one's a special case. Because of that goddamn ending. Spoilers for Splatoon 3, by the way. So the final villain is a Care Bear. I stated in my last video that I didn't see this plot twist coming. Like, I can definitely see how people could, but not me. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. But you gotta imagine with me for a second that for the entirety of this game, I was thinking, who is this dude supposed to be? They're not giving any subtle hints or clues. Is it another Octarian? Will Splatoon pull a fast one and perhaps Big Man was the true villain all along? And then I send that huge rocket thingy and the camera pans up to a bear because Grizz is like grizzly, like a grizzly bear. Hearing this out loud, maybe I'm the stupid one. Not Splatoon. And it's not even like an intimidating and mean bear. No, he's just a fuzzball who makes corporate jokes, which I don't even know. You end up working for him later, so what is happening? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? But the final boss was coolish, though. So in conclusion, this game... No, one more thing actually, because this one thing just proves how insane and stupid Splatoon is as a series. And it's the fact that the squids that evolved past humanity and probably have a better society than we do now, the squids that used to swim in order to live can no longer do that. Now it just kills them. Can evolution do that? Can it really evolve so far that goes backwards? It's just the minute they touch water, they're dead. I think that really defines what I'm trying to say about the whole series. It's just very, very stupid. And that's exactly why I love it. Yup, that's right. Not only do I love the stupidity of this game, but I think it makes it better and more unique than you think. Because this series does not take itself that seriously, it's able to really stretch its tentacles and make even more crazy ideas they can put in this game. Like take for example, the weapons you use in order to splat your enemies. You have your usual sniper rifle, machine gun, and the new katana, which is actually pretty cool, but then you have your roller, which shouldn't make a lot of sense, but this game is about painting, so now it does. So who the fuck came up with the umbrella? Now every weapon class makes sense, except for Slosher. Not that it doesn't work, but it's because I hate the bubble Slosher. It kills me every goddamn time. But an umbrella? Like how useful is this in real life? Stay back! But what I do know is that this is only something that Splatoon can pull off. This can go for the specials as well, but you get my point already. Splatoon is such a weird and stupid series that stuff like this doesn't feel that out of place or is bad. But this isn't just limited to the gameplay though. Nah, it connects to the characters as well. Man, it does not go unnoticed how great all of the characters are in this series. Video games in general really struggle with the whole dialogue part of it.
Because I'm you. No, I'm me.
And make it seem every character you talk to is just a robot. And I mean, it's a big problem for Nintendo games as well, but at least they don't try to sugarcoat it. But Splatoon dialogue just hits different. From the news channel dialogue to Callie and Marie talking in the levels, hell, even the button commands have their own personalized dialogue. Do they need their own personalized dialogue? No, they don't. Literally every other game in existence doesn't have that. But Splatoon goes out of its way to include that. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, my favorite dialogue is Splatoon 3. So back to the ending. Cuttlefish is laying there shriveled up and dead on the ground, which is supposed to be a sad moment. Probably, because you know, the captain that has appeared for 3 games straight and is very beloved is just dead. And the Squid Sisters just look at what I assume to be their father figure, deceased because they couldn't save him on time. And then Marie makes this comment, which makes me just laugh because it's supposed to be a sad moment. But then the game reminds you that this game, this one you're playing right now, is about kids inking each. Oh god, never mind. I'm not gonna say that sentence because it's a very, very bad line. I don't know how I didn't catch that beforehand, but just ignore that, okay? Cuttlefish is fine though at the very least, but he doesn't have a body anymore. Like I thought at the end or post game we would have to find a way to return him back to normal, but no, he doesn't care and no one bats an eye. Peak writing. In preparation for this video, I was catching up on some Splatoon lore and damn, I was truly reminded how insane and weird this series is, and I was convinced that the creators of it not only know how stupid the series is, but are trying to one-up each other on how stupid they can make it. Let me just say, I do know Splatoon has its fair share of dark lore, and it's not just inherently stupid fun. But the majority of this series does not have super dark, depressing shit. And I want to make light of that before I go to my next point. That point being, the creators deliberately know this and are doing it unlike other Nintendo series. Now, inherently, a lot of other Nintendo IPs have pretty stupid concepts. Take, for example, Pokemon. You can catch tiny animals and gods and put them in little balls and make them fight. I think that's pretty stupid. Brings up some interesting ethical questions, but it is a little bit stupid. But Game Freak don't really treat it as such. They take it pretty seriously in most games, like in Black and White. And this is fine. I'm not trying to shame it in any way possible, but I do enjoy some self-awareness from time to time. Like, is no one really gonna comment on how these 10-year-olds can own mythical creatures and demons and no one seems to bat an eye? Like, damn, at least someone should say, huh, look at that. A kid with the god of time walking behind him just walked into my house uninvited and looked for my garbage can. What a crazy Sunday. I know it's a huge nitpick and it doesn't really bother me that much, but it helps prove my point. Take, for example, Mario as well. For the lack of story in every mainline game it has, it kinda takes itself pretty seriously. But in some of the spin-off games, it's a completely different story. Especially in Paper Mario, there are so many self-aware jokes or just fourth wall breaks I just completely adore. Like joking about the age rating, the office supply villains, to the Toad's wife who left him. Like stuff that doesn't really make sense and could be removed from the game, but gives the game so much personality that makes me really appreciate the people behind these games. It's like the developers actually know that they're making a game about a cardboard cutout fighting a demon lord and are just having fun in the absolute absurdness they're making. Like in every direct when a game is shown off and the creator's like, oh, you can do this in this game, or oh, we had a fun time making that. And then this dude who I forgot the name of shows up and is like, guys, you won't fucking believe what I found out for Splatoon 3. Which is great. I love when the directs do this kind of thing because we don't get it that often anymore. Splatoon is exactly like that, but tenfold. Splatoon within itself is a very unique and brilliant concept, but again, is also pretty stupid. Like back in 2015, shooter games were arguably the most popular genre of gaming. The Call of Duties, the Battlefronts, the other shooter games I can't list off since I don't play them usually. And Nintendo at the time didn't have any or got third-party support. And well, there should be one on their console since how big of a deal they were back then. And Nintendo, in the most Nintendo way possible, did a shooter game in the weirdest way possible. And was met with a lot of hate. You know, they showed off Splatoon and everyone was like, who would play this? Why would you make this? And at the time, I guess it did look pretty off-putting. But Nintendo was so used to making these weird but unique experiences, and Splatoon looked no different. But as we saw more of it and the game came out, we can all agree that Splatoon is one of the most unique experiences Nintendo has ever made. And it all stems from how stupid the game looks and plays. Perhaps stupid isn't the best word I could have used, but honestly, stupid could be another word for unique, and that unique stupidity is the biggest reason why I love this series. And for whatever wacky and one more time, stupid stuff the game will come up with, I'll be here for it the whole entire way. Because this series may seem childish and dumb at times, but I am a child at heart, so this series is pretty perfect for me. You know what's also stupid but I love about Splatoon 3? All the connection errors I keep getting. Isn't that great, guys? Huh.